And just like that, tournaments are back, and we are here for day one of the January qualifier. So, things are changed a little bit with this tournament. The prize pool has been upped, but also have the requirements to make it to day two of the event. So now, in order to make day two, in the previous tournament, you needed an average of 4th place across all 6 rounds. We're still going to be playing 6 rounds. However, now you need an average of 3rd place throughout the course of the tournament. You need to score 40 points over the course of 6 rounds. And in the last tournament, I actually had an average of 2nd place. Very, very good performance. However, this is a lot steeper of a competition. It just means that you're going to be a little bit more nervous going into it, and you got to play that much tighter. So hopefully everything works out well. We're still waiting on one more person to join this lobby, as you can probably see. Gonna wear a hat for at least a portion of these games. My hair is really long now, so I either have to wear a hat or put my hair up to keep it out of my eyes, but it looks like all 8 of us are ready to go. So without further ado, here is game 1 of day 1 in the new tournament, and a big decision to be made here. I've only played 1 game on the Sphinx in this new, patch. Whew, the nerves. You can feel the nerves already. I've played a few games of Hoard Dragon. I think that Hoard Dragon is really good for some of the things that this patch wants to do. Namely, find sarcophagus. So I think we're going to go Hoard Dragon and lock it in. And we see right off the bat a pair, which is pretty lovely to find off Hoard Dragon. We're going to be up against a Share Bear. The question is, because we're going to be able to lock and pick up everything, I think we just go for the tiny. We're mostly in the early game looking for tier 3 treasures so that we can pick up an ancient sarcophagus. At the same time, consolidating 3 tinies into 1 unit is a huge waste of gold. So even if we roll 2 tinies, I'm probably just going to lock it for a little bit while I pick up other things in the shop. But we are able to tie against the Share Bear, and now we'll have 4 gold on our 2nd turn. And I think the play here is Shorewood Sure Shot plus a tiny and then no Lockerino for this unicorn. Might as well backline everything. Better practice, huh? We could also just frontline the tinies, but I think that this is generally higher weighted in terms of getting us out. So next turn we'll be able to pick up 2 units. I would love to. Best thing would be a Sherwood Sure Shot and a Lonely Prince. That is absolute optimal shop, plus maybe a free roll so that we can lock into the next one, or a Shrink Ray. That would also be great. All right, we miss the 50-50, but it didn't actually matter. We just needed them to attack into a tiny first. So we're going to, okay, well, that's great. Another dwarf is not bad. And then the other option is, of course, so there's a few different things going on here. I'm definitely taking Sherwood Sure Shot. Question is, do I go into dwarves? Do I pick these things that will work up better with the sarcophagus once we find those and potentially allow us to do good things with the sarcophagus should we find it? And then the other question is, are we locking the roll or are we taking the roll? So I think the plan here is to lock the roll, and if that's the plan, then I think what we should do is do this. I'm sorry, it's not a roll, it's a forbidden fruit. But I believe this is the best avenue. This would allow us to purchase the Crafty, the Black Cat, and an additional 2-drop on our 4th turn, which can allow us to get some more treasures. We're going to go down to the Sherwood Sure Shot. My opponent is not going to slay, though. We're going to win this combat. So we stay undefeated on top of the lobby. Very good stuff. Very good stuff. Do we roll a treasure? We do not, but we roll a pair of Wicked Witches. Well, does seem like a pair is pretty good on Hoard Dragon. I could move this to the back, pick up the 2 Wicked Witches with the Forbidden Fruit. Possibly still locking the Black Cat and the Crafty. I mean, we've got a few different pairs now. I don't hate it. I think that is what we will do. So let's do that. Let's grab this. And I believe we are going to be locking the Black Cat. It's tough, though, because we've got 3 pairs. So maybe we should just be prepared to roll for more pairs. Thing is, this Black Cat is just really, really strong on the board right now. And the Crafty is decent should we get, like, another Sherwood Sure Shot. I think I'm going to not lock. I think that economically, we were basically locking for the Forbidden Fruit there, and we made use of the Forbidden Fruit. So I'm not going to continue to lock. Geppetto is now the only undefeated player left in the lobby, and they are going to have a pretty good turn against us right now, but it shouldn't be that big of a deal. We'll get an attack with Sherwood Sure Shot, and we will win this combat. So we are now the only undefeated player in the lobby. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Now we are going to try to... It's too late for this Lonely Prince, even though we'll probably pick up a Sure Shot. Kind of do like Wretched Mummy plus roll for a pair of one of these 2s. Plus we can support the Mummy right here, maybe even right there. And that's pretty good. Let's take the Candy Rain as well. I think this is a big enough Mummy. And then let's roll for a pair. We don't get a pair, but we get the Golden Chicken. We also get a Worm Root, which we can now no longer cast. We could also sell the Bad Billy to pick up Vampire, which I do not hate. Trying to think of what the best way to do that would be. Like, if I do actually want to sell Bad Billy, because I could also sell Tiny or Sherwood Sure Shot, and it gives us a slightly better board, but breaks up a pair. I think I'm going to pair game while I am on Hoard Dragon, play it like this. This puts a lot of extra stats on the Mummy that are probably unnecessary, but we are playing for Sark eventually. They are going to take out the Wicked Witch, but that's fine. We still get the Slay. Vampire trades 2 for 1. Mummy trades 2 for 1. And that is going to be enough to stay undefeated. We get an additional gold now with Share Bear. And tournament's starting off well. We can now start to breathe, you know? All right, this is an absolutely fabulous pickup. I believe I also like the Cindy. And I think I'm going to take the Falling Stars just to get one step closer on the Cindy and try to grab ourselves a tier 3 treasure. Let's see what else we can find. We can find a Vampire here if we sell out of the Sherwood Sure Shot. I think that's going to be good enough. I can sell the Tiny or the Sherwood Sure Shot. It doesn't really matter. It's tough to say. We saw one Sure Shot there. That's me. We saw 2 different Dwarves players, so I think I'm going to sell out of the Dwarves. We're going to play double Vampire. And do I want to put my second... Which of my Vampires do I want to be bigger? The one attacking first or the one attacking second? It's really tough to say. It probably shouldn't matter with these Falling Stars. Generally, I like having my higher health second, because that is just going to give more survivability to my second Vampire. So I think that's what we're going to go with, 6 health Vampire in the back. If my opponent also casts a Falling Stars, things could get a little bit silly, as that'll wipe out our entire back line. But that's a risk I'm willing to take. They do not have it. We miss the Slay, and our second Vampire gets hit. So that is a huge punish, and could honestly just spell our first defeat right now. Looks like it is going to be our first defeat. We're going to take a little bit of damage. We do not get a treasure here right off the bat, but I don't hate this Masquerade Ball. We'll see a bunch of 4s with it and some 3s. We have 3 different 3s that we are working with. We're really going to have to rely on Cindy and Sure Shot to find this sarcophagus, or we could potentially pick it up later. But I think Mask Ball is fine enough for right now. Fortunately, that's a total miss. So let's roll. I'll pick this up. All right, Sporko is definitely one of the units that we are looking for, though. So I think at this point we're just selling Golden Chicken, putting in Sporko, and now potentially doing something like this. Yeah. Okay, this seems strong. And I think that this is all we can ask for. Even if we don't get the sarcophagus, there are still other good treasures that we can pick up. The most important of which on 4 is Summoning Portal. But Summoning Portal plus Mimic Chest is still really good, or Summoning Portal plus Monkey's Paw, something like that. Might not have said this already, but my plan is probably to try to force pumpkins. But we're also going to let the chips fall where they may. This is obviously lent itself, this game, to a very good comp. My opponent just making us miss on those breakpoints. Very unfortunate, but this combat still looks okay for us. We're going to die to Romeo plus Juliet. We were dead to it regardless, but we take 6 down to 29, and Fallen Angel at 40. Pretty good stuff from the Fallen Angel. I don't think I'm going to pick up the Wolf and Sheeps. I think we're going to roll. I think we can continue to roll a little bit more. The Medusa is interesting, as are the Black Cats. Maybe should be looking to pick up some Black Cats. I think I will, now that I think about it. I'll also play any spell that lets us cast another spell, like Potion of Heroism. Let's start off with Vampire. Maybe we get a Spells Matter, like a Horn, that... Oh, wow. This will actually... Forking Rod will allow us to complete the Cindy right now. So let's go for that. Think we could go for something like this and pop the Potion of Heroism right here. I want to think about that, though. I think so, because I want to hang on to these 2-cost units and potentially get a Sark. The thing is, you know what, let's just put it on this Sporko. Oh, let's put it on the Sporko, duh. Because if we get Sark, we're going to put in Black Cat. Alright, well, now we are balling, so Crystal Ball plus Forking Rod, and you know what? This might actually just be better for us anyways. Getting the Black Cat in here with some stats. We do want the Sporko more towards the front because it's a ranged unit. I think this is good. So now we are Ball plus Fork. My opponent going to get a Grimsoul, but nothing triggering off that Grimsoul. Vampire stays alive, gets to get a 2-for-1. That's really nice. And these mummies are not quite going to get 2-for-1s. They're actually going to summon things off the donkey. Oh, wow, that actually does get a 2-for-1. And the donkey summons nothing. Oh, perfect, perfect. Well, we kill on a Wish Upon a Star turn. That's great. We can Wish Upon a Star ourselves. Don't love it. Seems a little unnecessary. Seems a little risky. We've got this Ball Fork, so I want to try to find ways to play additional spells. That's a decent spell, but I think we can do better. Don't hate the Blind Mouse. I almost want the Wish Upon a Star now that I've picked up the Queen of Hearts. That is actually quite good. I could sell for Wish Upon a Star. This is honestly a really awkward assortment of treasures because it's not what I was planning on doing. I think I might sell this off. Thing is, we're into pumpkin territory next turn anyways. Let's just roll. Okay. We grab this. We get to grab another 4 if we find... Okay, we don't. Let's play Coin of Sharon. Let's move this here. Let's put this up here. And let's just lock for Wormroot. Because it's just a reasonable spell that we can cast. Alright, we're going to trade with Vampire. Vampire actually gets a 2-for-1 there. That's pretty nice. Mummy's going to get a really nice hit as well. And now we're just relying on this Queen of Hearts plus our Sporko to do some work. There goes Queen of Hearts. It's really going to be all about the Queen, and we shall see. So the Queen will survive here, trade with this, and then we lose a little bit of health to Fanny. Oh, we didn't take out white. Shoot, so we took 10. That is a little bit more annoying then. Okay. Well, now we can find Aeon. That is definitely something that will do a lot for us. I think I also want to just put stats on Vampire and Mummy. I think I'm going to start casting a bunch of spells right now. Sugar and Spice is not as exciting, but it would be more exciting if it was an evil unit. Okay, Kitty Cuphurst, not super great for us, but... and then we find the Sherwood Sure Shot triple. All right, let's go for Mix-a-Whizzle to start things off. That is actually decent. I think I'm going Queen of Hearts here. There is still the potential that I should be trying to... Yeah, you know what? Let's sell the... No, I'm not locking for this. Yeah, these turns are getting hard. Basically, I want Moonsonghorn. This Medusa is really annoying because it's going to mean that our Coin of Sharon... Oh, actually, it doesn't eat up our Coin of Sharon, apparently. So that's great. The coin still goes here, and it doesn't impact the Tweedle. But I think we still potentially have enough stats. No, we're going to lose this one, too. Drat. This is a really huge unit from APOC right now. So we take a ton of damage, 13 down to 6. We got to get back in the game. We got to recover. All right, here's the Aeon. And now I'm like off this Sherwood Sure Shot again. I should have just, pretended or known that we were going to be able to flip this eventually. Yeah, because there's the pair of black cats. That would have done a lot better for us. Well, I think I will want to have this online eventually, so let's do it now. Could also make a bunch of 6-drops and 5-drops and sell some things. I think that's going to be good. A Storm King is really good and worth selling for. So how do we make that happen? Well, Vampire's got to go in right here. Probably Evil Support to make sure that this Mummy works. Something like this. And now we just have to sell 3 things. So that's hanging on to the Queen of Hearts. Oh, we double cast the Masquerade Ball too. Yeah, that's interesting. I think there's slight consideration for Hercules. I just can't make it work right this second. The three pigs is also kind of interesting. You know what? I probably should have gone for Hercules right now because we are up in this lobby. Like, we're beating this opponent most likely. Yeah, that was a mistake. All right, well, that's fine. We'll pick up the Herc next turn, plus hopefully cast some cheaper spells. We are going to get the Aeon trigger. We're going to need this Storm King to deal with this doubly, but it's going to be enough to do it. And then how is my backline looking? Going to be tough to get past the Tweedle. 16, 19. Oh, we lose and we die here. Wow. So we're starting this tournament off with a 6th place finish right off the bat. That is going to be tough to recover from. But if you get a 6th and you get a 1st, those do kind of cancel out. That's not quite a 3rd place finish, but it basically cancels out. This tournament's going to be tough. It's going to be tough to not get rattled as well and keep my composure, but I'm going to try my best. All right, we are back now with round 2 of day 1 of the January qualifier tournament, and we have the option to pick up Gwen again, but I do think Merlin is really, really strong just for the early game tempo that it generates. So I do think we are going to see Merlin get played here. I like a lot of those heroes. I like Celestial Tiger a lot, especially right now, and I also like Gwen. but Merlin sounds good enough. Let's go with that. Just really, it's so important, especially in these tournament lobbies, to get something that just gives you some tempo in the early game. And Merlin obviously does a really good job at ensuring that. Kind of awkward, though, with Merlin is that turn 2, we're going to have access to 4 gold. So we're probably not going to be locking this Witch's Brew. Instead, I will just grab this Bad Billy. Could see taking the Blind Mouse here. There's only Hoard Dragon that would wish to compete with me for it, but I think that we will just go for the Bad Billy, higher stats, and it's going to be enough to ensure that we don't take 3 damage. So cannot be too mad about that. Now we've got 4 gold, and we do have the option to eeny meeny. I'm going to pick up the Cinderella before eeny meenying, and then I'm going to cycle the chicken. That seems really good. That guarantees eeny meeny onto Sure Shot, and we got the Merlin trigger onto the Bad Billy. So this is a really, really good start for Merlin. I'm just getting an ad in my ears. All right, I got to take these off. So annoying. I gotta just pay for some Spotify Premium. But yeah, you can see most of the time, I guess, yeah, we tie that combat, but there was it was 50-50 that we won. I don't have anything of value to say there. Great hit here. We get to hit Hoard Dragon for 5 down to 40. And now in this shop, well, there is a pair, but I don't really care for the pair. We can play a spell, which is a reasonable amount of stats. I could also grab the Polywoggle, which potentially allows us to get a trigger onto the Polywoggle. We do have to consider the fact that, like, we're probably doing something like this because we're up against Sad Drac. At the same time, I think I would like to frontline more units. So I think we're going to see something like this and maybe even like this. This just gives us some beefier units to potentially soak up whatever Sad Drac has got going on in case they are already high rolling with a Sherwood Sure Shot. This kind of eliminates some of that potential. And now we get to go nuts with our Sherwood Sure Shot and ensure that we are winning again. So staying undefeated in these early turns, that has not been too big of a problem for us just yet in this tournament. And we get to play a pretty strong turn here too. So the question is, how or what are we going to start doing? I think I'd like to buy the Spellweaver as soon as possible, and I'll probably just get rid of this Baby Root. So I think I'm thinking of something like sell Baby Root, by Spellweaver and Earthquake, then by Black Cat, and then lock a pair of Witches for the next one. That seems good. Let's go ahead and do that. And we get the trigger on the Cindy. That's fine. And then we're going to go Black Cat here. And Polywoggle, we would enjoy that slaying, but it's just hard to find the room for it. Let's backline everything, play around, or all of our units here at least play around Earthquake a small amount. I'm not sure which of these is better, but let's just do it like this. And I didn't lock. That's going to be the problem with trying to do commentary in tournaments. I hate to say it, but that is really unfortunate that we get pretty punished there, losing our pair. Hopefully it's not that big of a deal. We don't take too much damage, but my opponent is somehow already huge. Why are they so big? Why are all of their units getting... Oh, it was because the stag attacked. Okay. Yeah, they just have a bunch of tier 3 units already, so just a little bit annoying. We get to pick up one Evil Witch here, and I guess we will do it alongside Shard of the Ice Queen, making our Sure Shot a little bit bigger. All right, now we've got a pair right here. We'll probably do something like this and this, grabbing this, and then maybe rolling and either completing the Bad Billy or grabbing another Black Cat. Could also grab an Evil Witch now and undo the mistakes of our past. I think that's going to be the way to go. Can also lock Wretched Mummy. Fortunately, we can't cast the Shrink spell right now, but I think I'm going to sell Polywoggle, buy this. And the question is, do I lock the Mummy to potentially find tier 3 treasures, because tier 3 treasures are good for Merlin, they're good for Ancient Sarcophagus, and I think I might like to do something that at least starts with picking up this mummy. Not sure we're going to pick up anything else, but I think locking just for mummy is actually good enough already, and then maybe we'll roll for another unit plus a spell. Hopefully this black cat can do some work. It looks like this combat RNG is working out decently well in our favor, enough that we are going to win this combat and deal some damage to Sharon. We'll hit them for 7. So can't be too upset about that. We're in second place. I was going to say second place after Share Bear, but now we are beating the Share Bear. If we shrink spell, we could also maybe pick up Shadow Assassin. I think we can roll for a better spell, though. Let's roll, find a better spell. Okay, this gives us an evil unit. Seems fine. It also activates Cinderella. We'll probably want to take whatever this treasure is. Locked Chest seems okay. Probably better than Ring of Regen. Locked Chest is a little bit slow, but it's just going to really allow us to find this sarcophagus, which I think is going to be pretty big for us. And what is this? Are these the same? No, let's do it like this. Okay, try to frontline the mummy a little bit. I guess actually I do feel like this might be better to play a 4-5 and a 7-6. Unlocking that chest in 3 turns is probably fine enough. That'll be right before we hit level 5, and then we'll have a decent idea of if we are playing evil stuffs or if we're playing mages. Either way, we want to pick up as many monster books as possible once we hit level 4. So that game plan doesn't really change for us regardless. And can we take out this pig? I think we are going to get the pig. My opponent just trying to slay with a brave princess. That's really all that they care about. And I think this combat is going to go reasonably okay for both of us. My opponent should be winning this one. Yeah, they're gonna win it by a considerable amount, actually, 2 golden units. But we get the prized pig, so I guess we're happy enough. Up against Pied Piper, could take the chance to wish upon a star, find the pumpkins earlier than the rest of the lobby, but I don't want to go for that. Let's just find some upgrades for our own selves. I gotta take Dark Contract here, you know it. This is definitely a Dark Contract game, so let's buy the mummy. That helps additionally on the contract, and then roll for another 3. Well, I think we've exhausted the pool of reasonable 2s. Tier 2 treasures, I mean. The boots are fine, and the boots will be good eventually, but here's what I'm thinking. Fireball, and then Darkwood Creeper. And this Darkwood Creeper is going to turn out pretty large from that. We might even consider something like this now. That's a pretty large unit. We have to mostly assume that these mummy hits are just going to be enough. Could do something like this, too. Yeah, let's buff up our biggest unit with both of our buffs. This Black Cat only has 1 Merlin buff on it, so it is not the most important thing to take advantage of. We're going to get a 2-for-1 off that Fireball, and a 3-for-1 off of our first mummy, and also a trade, an Xaxes trade with that. So pretty nice stuff here that should result in a win, but it's still going to be close. It is actually going to be a tie. So good on my opponent. Glad that we put as much strength into that combat as we did. We have the chance now to pick up 2 tier 3 treasures, first of which is going to be a treasure map, and then the second of which will be a tier 5 treasure. Sounds good. Alright, Mimic Chest does still work with Locked Chest. Monkey's Paw is also really good, but I think we can afford to Mimic Chest here. The thing is, with Mimic Chest and Dark Contract, we can just buy these 2 units, and that gives us an incredible amount of stats on the board. Next turn, we're going to pop this open potentially into a Hat Ball, so we might want to lock Wizard's Familiar. Could also sell both Darkwood Creepers to get the Wizard's Familiar, but I think what we do here, this doesn't need any more stats. This wants to get supported. And then I think I'm just going to buy Kitty Cutpurse, Bad Billy, and a lock Wormroot plus Wizard's Familiar. You see, that just generates huge, huge units. This looks good, and let's lock, like we said. So next turn, I believe that Mimic Chest does work with Lock Chest, because Lock Chest works with Celestial Tiger. Of course, we cannot find any more treasure maps. We've already exhausted our treasure map, but we could have Mimic Chest Sark here, which is pretty fabulous. So we get the hit off that, and they summon some stuff. We are going to get the Slay there, and then it is just a matter of the rest of our units doing a little bit of work for us. Our ranged units getting to get in there. And looks like our Bad Billy is big enough that it can take down one unit and then trade with the Minotaur. That was pretty good RNG for us. We only take 6, and now we're going to open up some lock chests. So let's take the hat, and then let's take the ball. No. Okay, we don't get the ball, but we do get the Sark. So that is going to be, I'm more than happy with that, and I'm just deciding if this means that I want to cut the contract or the Merlin's hat that we just picked up. I think we cut the contract. I think the Sark is going to be enough. I think we have to hope that the Sark is enough, and let's just cast that. I would have loved to play some XP, and we find that right now, which is a little bit awkward, but I think that this is still good enough. We really want to find monster books. I should roll for some monster books right now. There we go. There's one. Now we could play another Spellweaver in this back line. I don't really want to transition into Hatball. I want to really just stick with what we have. Thinking about Vulture as well as just a big unit for the current turn, and I think that's what I'm going to go with. I could sell 2, but that doesn't quite get us to Spellweaver territory, so I'm really just going to be banking mostly on the Monster Book here. And let's move Monster Book to the front, supporting the Mummy. Now, Mummy doesn't need support. 20 is big enough, or we're in trouble. So, double Sark. Oh, they do have a doubly. But hopefully double Sark can take out some magnitude of these fannies. It does take out one fanny there. And now we've got the book. Lightning Bolt to take out another fanny. So that's going to deal with a considerable amount of what this doubly was doing. And we take out a lot of their other units just with the Sark triggers right now. So things are going decently well. We get to trade there. Yeah, the Sark triggers will continue to take my opponent out. So there's a win. All it needed was a Mimic Chest on the most busted thing in the game right now. And now we'll be able to pick up a pumpkin. So time to figure out what we're losing. What do we want next? We really want a Runestones into a tier 5 treasure, which is kind of silly. But that said, I still think we cut this, and I think we still look for monster books and pumpkins. That is not a bad unit, though, either. To just place in slot 1. Let's see if we can do a little bit better. We've got a little bit more gold still. You know what I would actually really love is a summoning portal. I gotta get rid of some of these excess units with Merlin. Okay, and that's a great excuse to get rid of them. 10-10 or Black Cat. This all seems fine. Oh, let's put Black Cat right here. Okay. And now we're just hoping that doubled up Sark is good enough. I could lock for Cat's Call. Just keep that in mind for future combats. Ah, they snipe our pumpkin. That's really annoying. But hopefully some Sark triggers can start to do some work against my opponent. They've got a Fanny that I would love to get rid of. Well, it's not going to matter in a second. Okay, yeah, we get rid of the Fanny actually just in time to kill that off. That is nice. I think the Sark triggers are going to be more than enough right now. Yeah, that's enough to win the combat. So that's nice, and we'll even get a Merlin trigger on the Sporko before we go. We almost take out Sir Salty. Could go for Wretched Mummy. We are going to have a little bit of a break here in the action, so I think I'd like to pick up Monster Book, something a little bit better to work in this other spot. But you know what? I'm not going to turn this down. If we can grab a, whatever it's called, Monkey's Paw, that's exactly what we were looking for. Now we toss the hat, and now all we have to do is cut one of our units, and we're looking pretty good. We're looking quite good here. I think we're looking okay enough that we can mix a whistle, but we're against the ghost. So it doesn't really matter. These are like borderline the treasures that we are now going to be sticking with until the end of the game. So we probably just want to use our cash to find more pumpkins and take the pumpkins away from the rest of the lobby. I think that is the way to go. I do think that Sporko could still be good though. Let's take another Sporko, and do we cut Black Cat? We could also pick up Medusa. We're back to ads on Spotify. No, I feel comfortable right now. We're in second place in this lobby in health totals, followed only, or beaten only, by a Share Bear. Okay, we're not going to have troubles against the ghost. We're doing okay. Just trying to think of what other treasures could we meaningfully use to improve the board. I don't think it's treasures. I think it's pumpkins. I think it's actually just pumpkins is how we improve the board. And then obviously doubling some of the units that we already have. Share Bear just took a hit. That is great. Sporko is not going to allow us to find anything other than Summoning Portal, which would be something that we'd have to have a chat about, but that's not what it's going to be, so no matter. Could use this opportunity to gain 3 health. Spend 4 gold to gain 3 health. I think in a scamming universe, that is worth it. So sell the Black Cat, and then I believe I'm just going to cast it on the Wicked Witch of the West, though. 32.25. It's close. It's close. I could see, especially with the Great Pumpkin King. But let's just go ahead and do this. Just gain 3 health. I could see throwing away the Nyan Sea Terror. I also don't hate hanging on to the Nyan Sea Terror because that means that my opponents are going to have more difficulties finding one. So that is kind of just a silly little hack there. They're going to trigger their Lance, and they're also going to get in with their Cupid as I try to take out one of my own units here. We've got a Smite on Lance, so that's enough to kill it, plus some Sark triggers are looking pretty nice. Mummy takes out the Cupid, and this is going to be enough for a win. It's not going to be enough for a kill, unless Juliet is strong enough that it will survive. It's not. The Mummy's going to take out the Sherwood Sure Shot, and we hit Feed for 10. So now some options are Medusa. I really just want more pumpkins. Again, I just bought the XP to gain the health. That was the point of the XP. Don't need any of this. Do we want Sporko? I think we can do better. I think we could find Dragon. I think we could find an additional book. I also kind of like putting the pumpkin in a crock. That is really good. But is that good enough that we play? Oh, we don't have to play down a unit. We can take the Black Cat. Oh, that's wonderful. This is absolutely wonderful. So we throw this in a crock. The crock even gets a buff, and then we pick up a Black Cat. So we don't have to worry about playing down a unit here. The Mummy is probably big enough. The Black Cat is absolutely huge, supported by this Sporko. And this just means that, sure, it can still get Piggoed, but it's not going to get scammed by a Lightning Bolt or a Smite. And now everybody's 6, of course, because we only picked up 1 XP. But I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. This is what I was trying to make happen last game on Trophy Hunter. We got like some of the pieces awkwardly on Trophy Hunter. We wound up playing Hatball, and now on Merlin we get to do something that looks a lot more like a Trophy Hunter game with these basically perfect treasures. And Merlin just helped get us there with those extra triggers on everything. Frontline Court Wizard with a backline Reduplicator. That is really interesting. We're probably going to take out the Court Wizard with a Sark trigger at some point. We don't take out that. That's really funny. But yeah, hopefully we can get this off a Sark. That would be nice to not have to attack into it. All right, well, we attacked into it and we survived, so I guess that's fine. My opponent is rather large here, but we still have the Great Pumpkin coming. They summoned 2 huge Minotaurs, and we now get to summon a board full of evil units. So hopefully this is enough with a doubled up Sark. I think it should be, but let's see. One more hit on this is all we need. All right, that's enough to take out that. We take out this, and now we should be taking out this with the Sporko. Nicely done. That takes out the Potion Master and propels us into potentially the top 3 if 3 players die on this turn, and they do. So we are top 3, baby. Looking for Pumpkin, potentially looking for Doom Breath as well. Could also see casting a Mix-a-Wizzle on this Nay and Sea Terror. And I think I'm going to do that after buying the Doom Breath. Okay, well, we got a rather large Storm King. I guess we have cast a decent amount of spells as Merlin, but it's not evil. Do have the chance to lock in another Doom Breath. I think that might be good. It gives a lot of potential for different scam. We could throw the book over there and then just have 2 frontline Doom Breath. So I think that's going to be the call for next combat. Just still debating this Storm King. It is really large. Okay. Let's put the Storm King in, let's move the Mummy here, and then let's cast a Fog, and let's go ahead and lock in the Doom Breath. I think that is going to be good for us. Next turn, we'll be cutting the Nyan Sea Terror and hoping still to pick up another Pumpkin. Another Pumpkin does wonders. Opponent with Copycat, Good Boy. Pretty annoying. First attack would mean a lot. They're going to get just a ton of stats here with the Copycat Good Boy. Apparently Copycat Good Boy is still a thing. It is not dead, so we need to scam them hard. Our first spell is a For Glory. Our second spell is an Earthquake. That is not enough of a scam to get it through. We break through the first Good Boy, but the important thing is killing these other things off before we kill off this upgraded Good Boy. But we need to scam here regardless, so it really doesn't matter. We are at 20. We are at 20, so that's really good. All right, we got 2 different scam units. This can take out one of their units. This can take out another if it doesn't attack, but it does. And this Medusa might not get to attack either because it is sitting in the back line. So yeah, now this Vampire is going to attack, and then the Medusa is going to get attacked. So after a bunch of triggers, we are left with the same result. We take 11 down to 9, but now we just have to beat Sharebear, or Sharebear can lose to the Ghost. If we attack first with a Doom Breath, that could be huge for us. So that is part of the plan. We also want to play as much scam as possible. Let's take a look. What is their biggest unit? It's that Wizard's Familiar. Okay, so not going to be able to scam there. We are just going to look for a scamming spell or another Pumpkin. We'll definitely be excited to put another Pumpkin into this mess. And I think we do something like this. I am just questioning. Yeah, I think we have to play the book. And then we're going to sell the Black Cat and put in another Pumpkin. And this should be good. 2 different scam units. If we attack first, we're in a good spot. We have 1 in 6 to just straight up win this combat if we hit the Copycat. And if we miss, if we hit on the Spellweaver, we still have really good odds because that takes out all of their good units. So I would say we are slightly less than 50-50 to win this combat, but then you factor in the scam, and I think that we might have a decent shot. That Smite is looking nice. Do we get first attack? We do not. So that is brutal. My opponent is going to pump up their team. Really annoying. They also have a Soul Tack to protect their back line from the dragon, so quite annoying. They've also added another Good Boy. This is looking like a second place, but anything is possible when you are scamming. So we're looking for some decent scam units. We don't quite get there. We also need to get rid of this soul tack yesterday so that my triggers do something here. Looks like a rough one. Do we find a Medusa? Do we find an apple tree? We do not. That is going to be all she wrote. So, second place after a sixth place. That is an average of fourth. That would have been good enough if this was last month, but we're playing a whole new game now in this new patch. Copycat Good Boy, apparently still a lot better than I thought it was. But second place, not going to be too upset with that, and that is going to be it. We're into it. Game 3 is here, and Sad Drac, I think, is still pretty reasonable. I think I like it more than the Mask and Morgan. I actually don't hate Morgan because she is able to get a treasure sometimes that can help you stabilize in these tournament lobbies. But we are going to be going for Sad Drac, getting those free boots, picking up, hopefully, a good unit to start the game and start snowballing and doing some nice things with. Haven't played Sad Drac yet on this patch, but can't imagine it's too much different than anything else going on. Gonna just go for a Shard of the Ice Queen, and don't really love Black Cat for Sad Drac, but it should mean that at the very least we're still tying this combat if we are up against like a Merlin or something. Mad Mim is always going to be good on Sad Drac, so that's just going to continue to be good once we scale up, because then we can move the Mad Mim so that it is supporting the Black Cat, and that could work out nicely as well. We are going to get the Slay. Again, not that I really care about getting 2 additional attack on Black Cat, but we'll take it. And I think I'd rather flip a Lonely Prince than take another Black Cat. That's just not what we're going to be building towards, and I do like myself a Kitty Cut Purse. If we can start slaying on that, grabbing some additional gold, I think that that is going to be good. I also like Polywoggle and Minotaur and Sherwood Sure Shot. There's a lot of good things here. We could lock just for Forbidden Fruit, because if we slay with the Kitty Cut Purse, then we can Forbidden Fruit and pick up 3 things. So I think that that is potentially worth banking on, and hopefully we just don't attack into whatever they mad cattered here. And looks like we are going to get the Slay, and we are going to get the win, so we are going to get that additional gold as well. And that is going to allow us to pick up 3 units in this shop. We're playing against somebody that has lost all of their combats, so that is potentially worth playing into as well. I think, to be totally honest, I like these 3 units. We can start growing a Sure Shot, we can just sideline a Polywoggle, and then we can have the Minotaur, or we just keep growing the Kitty Cut Purse. That might also be a good strategy as well. And then we'll just like put the Polywoggle here, backline some other stuff. So if we attack, they attack, and then we attack back. Okay, so we do want Polywoggle here. I'm going to grab this. I'm going to grab Minotaur just to make sure we keep slaying. Sure Shot or Egg? Let's go Sure Shot. I could start trying to grow the Sure Shot as well, but I don't think that that is super necessary. Hopefully, we just miss on the Slay there, so that is really unlucky. But we will be able to win this combat still, so I guess it is not the worst place in the world to be, down to 38 health, and still kind of crushing it, crushing it in this lobby. Going to be up against Sharebear yet again, and I'm thinking that Sad Drac plus a Cinderella is probably the way to go. The only question is, do you want to consider putting Potion of Heroism on Polywoggle? I just don't think that we have the opportunity to do so here. So I think this Polywoggle is just going to be a sidelinder. A sidelinder? What am I saying? Going to sit on the sidelines. Sure, sidelinder. Going to sideline the Polywoggle, but it's not going to sit on the sidelines. It's just going to sit in slot 4, and I'm not going to worry about any of these other units. We've seen in the past how I've picked up like Happy Little Tree in tournament lobbies and done pretty well with that on Sad Drac. I do think there's a lot to be said still for getting an early Doom Breath, but oof, that is brutal. This Sharebear has a ton of gold, And that is going to, unfortunately, mean we take a decent amount of damage here now against them. We are going to trade with the Cindy, but still, taking 9. This Share Bear is really beating up the lobby, and more specifically, beating up me. And that's what I care about even more. So, certainly considering this Forbidden Fruit just a flip or just a tick on Cinderella, I think that's good. I'm just debating this Sherwood Sure Shot. Honestly, I don't love it because I want Mad Mim. Mad Mim or Stag would be good. Find some better stuff than this. All right, this is really not working out super great. Nothing in 3 shops. Okay, we could take Shadow Assassin now. That is going to at least give us something that we can grow. If we sell 3 things, we can play an Ogre Princess. Just don't think we can afford to do that. Sure, I'll just play a 2-2 rather than play a 1-1. Not going to worry about Brave Princess here either. Oh, I should have moved that over 1 as well. Okay, well, we're going to get the sleigh there, and then we're also going to get the sleigh with Kitty Cutpurse. So we're playing a reasonable sleigh game right now. Hopefully this can trade into their second Sure Shot. That is a wonderful hit and going to mean that we deal some nice damage to this Hoard Dragon. I think we win that combat regardless, but it's nice to start growing the Shadow Assassin, and now we see the Mad Mims want to come out and play. Well, I think we pick them up, but I don't think we do anything with them just yet because I think they're going to be best utilized with the Polywoggle next turn, which means we could also just wait and try to find Sporkos. Yeah, let's roll for more tier 3 units while we are tier 3. All right, I'm going to pick this up. I think I also pick up Polywoggle and the Healing Potion. Do I want this Polywoggle? No, I don't want the Polywoggle. I'll take the Healing Potion. And then, okay, this is great. This is some good tier 3 action. Let's grab another Shadow Assassin. And then, believe it or not, considering Kidnap just because we're up against Merlin. That would mean we cut the Labyrinth Minotaur, or we sell all 3, including the Cindy. No, I don't want to sell Cindy. Let's do this. Kidnap because we're up against Merlin, and then lock the shop. And I think that this is reasonable. I'm also going to backline the Black Cat so that it can soak up damage for the Shadow Assassins. Hopefully they do not Earthquake us here. One time no Earthquake, great, but they've got a huge, huge happy little tree. We do get some slays, so that is nice, but we are going to be losing this one, and all we got is a Sherwood Sure Shot. That's all we got in our stead here. We are going to be taking out the Cinderella, so that will save us some life points as that trades into us, and we take 8 down to 20. In the bottom portion of the lobby, but still not doing that terrible. Let's find an upgraded tier 3 unit, and that can give us Rune Stones, or it can give us Fairy Tale. Thing is, I really don't want Rune Stones. I want a tier 3 treasure. So let's just take this. I'm going to grab a mummy. Oh, the Choop starts to seem really good right now, doesn't it? Selling off probably the Sure Shot and the Black Cat and just putting the Choop here into 2. It's a little tough. I might even put the Vampire in the back slot now and do something like this. Yeah, okay. And let's sell out of this. Oh, but I do still want to make use of the sleigh. Okay, this is fine. It's a little bit silly because we are trying to attack with all 3 units, or 3 of our units in our front line, but they're Geppetto. So they might have some small stuff that might allow us to get some attacks in, and I think it is worth the scaling with the Choop. A little bit scary also being up against one of the better players in the lobby, but looks like this combat is going to work out well for us. We're going to get our hits in, but my opponent has a Sarcophagus. So this is really scary. That's basically going to take me out. We're going to hope to survive a little bit just with our mummies, but we take 8 down to 12, excuse me. Kitty Cut Purse I don't want. I would love a Sark of my own. Don't hate the Luna's Grace. Up against a Trophy Hunter here that's about to die, though. Do have to feel like maybe I should get a little bit risky. Let's take Shadow Assassin, Bad Moon, Sark, or Slay. Definitely snapping this Sark. That is great. And now what other options do we have? Think we roll for a few more evil things. This could grant us a pumpkin. It is awkward because it's going to mean that we don't do anything else for the rest of our turn right now. Only other thing we could do is buy and sell a peep before doing it, but all that does is clear out a tier 4 unit. Next turn we'll have 10 gold, so we will potentially, if we find a pumpkin here, be able to play it just a little bit early. All we get is a Lancelot, but is a Lancelot terrible? It's not the worst thing in the world. Lancelot plus Shoulder Fairy does allow us some ability to scale, but I think I'm going to roll, try to complete some of the other things that we've got going here. Could grab the End. That also turns on pumpkins a little bit quicker. I think that's going to be good enough. Next turn we'll buy Baby Root, the End It. Unless we lose the combat and need health, then I'll buy the Lightning Dragon and the End It, and then maybe also throw in the Medusa, which can do some work alongside our boots. How is this Trophy Hunter looking? A little bit scary because they're going to slay. So they're going to cast 2 spells against us. We need Shadow Assassin to avoid getting spelled so that it can win this combat for us. That's nice. That is going to take out the Trophy Hunter and ensure that we're in at least 7th place, but not looking so great here down here with 12 health at the bottom of the lobby. Like I said, might just consider, well, the most expensive thing that I want to buy is the Spellweaver, and maybe that's good enough for the turn. The one awkward thing that I'm just now realizing is by making this play, we're actually saying that we are not going to be playing anything additionally this turn. Like, we're really just buying this for health at that point. And if that is the case, well, maybe we could do something different. Maybe we could do something where, oh yeah, we're not even using this unit. Okay, let's get rid of this unit, and then we can put Medusa here, because if Medusa gets a Choop trigger, that is still fine, and now we get to roll and lock a pumpkin. So basically just using this extra gold to try to lock a pumpkin. We're not going to find it, but I think that we are still in an okay spot. If either of these attack, then Medusa has enough stats to slay, and by that I mean kill something. And then if it gets permanent attack, then I'll just throw it in the 1 slot and throw the Vampire in the back line. But we're really banking a lot on our Shadow Assassin in some of these combats right now, and Shadow Assassin is potentially going to go down to Lightning Dragons. That is really scary. They also have a huge frog. This is going to be a really close battle, mostly aided by our Sarcophagus, but we are going to lose and take 9. So this extra health not doing too much, but we are able to grab a pumpkin here. Love to see that. Could also grab a monster book. Like, part of the reason we lost that combat was not having enough stats there at the end, right? It's not totally true, but we'll say it is. Monster book. Could still afford a Forbidden Fruit. Probably don't want that, though. Would really love just to get a little bit more health on this. I think Monster Book is good enough. The play is either Monster Book or roll and hope that we find a Pumpkin King. And I think we Monster Book for this turn because I don't need to play 2 Pumpkin Kings this turn. Obviously, it's really good. I've got 2 rolls to get it, 3 if I use the Forbidden Fruit. Let's just roll. Wow, okay. Good stuff. So now we're looking at something like this potentially. Probably just doing this. The only thing that we could otherwise do... Oh yeah, this ain't bad. This is definitely not bad. Oh, you know what we do, actually? Okay, sorted. Just realizing that here. We sell the stag and put 2 extra attack with the Potion of Heroism on the Medusa, so that way it will slay. Just debating if I want to break up these pumpkins. I think we do. Let's do that. Let's buy the Potion of Heroism up against a Pied Piper here. And I do think that we are pretty strong right now. 2 pumpkins is really good. 2 pumpkins plus a sarcophagus. Plus we got this Medusa. One of the pumpkins is going to get in there immediately. We're going to take out Court Wizard. That's always good to see. And then Medusa is going to slay. So now she's got the permanent, necessary, requisite attack. Chupacabra is going to get in there, give some additional attack to Shadow Assassin. And then we are going to lose our Vampire, but not before, well, yes, before. Then we're going to summon some pumpkin stuff. And this should be enough to win the combat. It does look like we just have to get past this donkey and a few more units on my opponent's side of the board. The reason I point out the donkey is because that is going to soak up some Sark triggers and spawn some additional units for my opponent, but no matter, we are able to take them out, and we're stabilizing at 5 health. So that is what's important. Now we're looking for another pumpkin hit Mimic Chest. We're up against Geppetto. We could also have the option for this is an interesting shot. Maybe we do pick up these 9 Sea Terrors because Mimic Chest is so good. And honestly, we can just play this. That's like a pretty good unit. We could even play this if we wanted to. We'll think about that. Do we hit? We might. I'm going to roll one more time for a 5. It's a 5, but it's not quite the 5 we wanted. Might be the 5 that we take alongside Falling Stars. Okay, yeah, this is what I was thinking. I think that we keep the Medusa in 1. Though I could also see doing something like this now, too. Sure. I don't think this was the best combat for us, but it worked out fine. Shadow Assassin is just going to be like a big unit for us. It's not going to be anything super impressive as we play against another Sark. It's going to be Sarks all the way down today. Playing against Geppetto, have to assume you're going to see some Sarks. We hit a nice mummy trigger there. Just have to deal with this baby bear, and we shouldn't have a problem dealing with that as we crack our pumpkin. We also want to hope that our Shadow Assassin does not get cracked itself. We kill the baby bear. Now we just have to deal with we killed the Papa Bear. Now we got to deal with the Mama Bear, and then, of course, the Queen of Hearts, and that should go down pretty easily to our Shadow Assassin. But not before they take out a few more of our units. So they are going to get away from the combat, not taking too much damage from us. Let's see if we can pile up on some more damage. We're now level 6. We can think about backlining this Medusa. We can also think about grabbing some tier 4 units, grab some summoning portals. I don't hate it, but I want tier 5 units. Medusa, also not bad. I want tier 5 units, though. We have 2 really good tier 5 units that we would love to make work. Jormungand, pretty interesting with Sad Drac Slay stuff, but I think I just want to ignore it. We've already got such the good start of a comp here with these pumpkins. One more roll, free roll, can it get us there? Not quite. We do get to grab a treasure from this, though. And that is going to be an Eye of Ares, works really well with pumpkins, so I will take that. Great. Okay, just looking at our options. Vampire now is almost as good as 9 Sea Terror, unless, of course, we play up against some other Sarks. But this looks okay. This looks okay for now. So, let's see what we can make work. A Mimic Chest is still the go-to plan for next shop, as well as picking up a dragon. That is a little bit unfortunate. My opponent is huge with an Embiggening Stone, an early doubled Embiggening Stone on Hoard Dragon. That is looking like we are going to, unfortunately, be leaving here with like a 4th or 5th place finish. These Sark triggers are just not going to get through. My opponent is absolutely huge. Even if we can get through some stuff, we're going to Sark on the donkey and just make absolute fools of ourselves. So hopefully we can get through a few things just so that we don't take enough damage, or too much damage, I mean to say. But that is going to be the end for us in this game. We will be able to kill one more unit. Hopefully we don't summon anything off of the donkey as well, just to make it. But no, 18 damage down to -13. That probably, unfortunately, gets us 5th. It does. That is really unfortunate. But other players had to play up against that Hoard Dragon early. They really, really popped off with Embiggening Stone plus Mimic Chest. That is sometimes what happened. And we were just kind of doing mediocre things. We didn't do anything like the last 3 turns of the game or something after we found those pumpkins, basically. So we really just started to fall off and couldn't keep up with the rest of the lobby, who was doing some absolutely fantastic stuff. So that is going to be it for game 3. A 5th place doesn't mean that I am out of the competition, but it does mean that I'm going to have to get some first place finishes. So if we do the math breakdown, let's see. 5th place is worth 4 points. The 2nd place is worth 8 points. So that is 12 plus 3 points from our 6. So that's 15 points after 1/2 of the tournament. And we need 40. So we need to see something like 10, 10, 5, which isn't technically possible. We can't really get a 5, so 10, 10, 6 in order to get there. What would 3 second places get us? 24. That would be too short. So we are going to need at least 1 first place finish. We could get 1st, 2nd, 3rd. That would be enough, right? That would be 15? Yeah. 1st, 2nd, 3rd is going to be what we need to complete this tournament and get into day 2. So stick with me, see if we are able to do it. Wonder Waddle. We're back in action, baby. Time to Wonder Waddle some people. I love it. You love to see it. That is how you can get a 1st place in a lobby, or a 2nd place, or a 3rd. Either of those is good. But I'd love to get the 1st place while I have the Wonder Waddle, and then we'll worry about probably getting another 1st place in next round, and then probably another 1st place in the round after that. I think we're going to clean sweep them from here and put ourselves on top of that leaderboard where we belong. So hopefully everyone has connected, and we are in it, because I do not want to lose this Wonder Waddle. Oh my god. Hopefully this goes through. Just making sure everyone's in. And we see quite the start here. We're going to lose against Pied Piper, but we're going to get a turn 2 treasure on Wonder Waddle. From there we can, or we're going to get a turn 2 unit. From there we can roll and figure out the rest, because we can skip on the treasure and pick up some other stuff. So this is good. This is the start of something good. You gotta lock this. Like, we could have played the baby dragon and then sold the baby dragon. That would have been the other thing that we could have done, just to not lose against Pied Piper, but it wouldn't have mattered anyways. We would have lost to Pied Piper regardless, so wasn't super concerned about it. This looks good though. Let's grab this. Was really hoping to grab a good unit here, but unfortunately that is not going to be the case. I do think I'm going to be skipping this, so that way we can pick up some other fun stuff. Let's roll, maybe find a spell like an Eeny Meeny or a Blind Mouse. Wow. We're going to have an extra gold next turn. I think we go Blind Mouse. Grabbing this, rolling, looking for another Blind Mouse. We miss, but we're going to have an extra gold next turn, which means an extra chance to roll for a Blind Mouse. And from there, if we can find an early Forking Rod, we've really put ourselves in an absolutely incredible position. Unfortunately, we're going to take some damage from the Sherwood Sure Shot, but there are ways out of this where we do take minimal damage. Unfortunately, that is going to be 4 damage to us, but we get the extra gold. That's what I care about. We also get the Blind Mouse. Let's take a look for Forking Rod. Might just be picking up another Blind Mouse here. Gloves of Thieving is interesting. Summoning Portal is interesting. Oh, we should have gone for the Eeny Meeny first. Okay, that was a mistake. Gloves of Thieving, really, really interesting. think I'm going to go for gloves and just hope that we can steal something. And then I'm going to pick up another blind mouse and roll again and hope to get there. Unfortunately, we've not cast a single spell with this Wizard's Familiar. Let's let the blind mouse be our sacrificial mouse, and then hopefully we can start to steal some nice stuff from Sad Drac and our other competitors and use that to get back into this game. So we could potentially be stealing a nice unicorn with some nice little buffs on it. I'm going to be taking 6 here down to 25, but I think that is totally a-okay. We get a unicorn now. We have a Mix-a-Wizzle. I'm also really looking into this Spellweaver, and I'm thinking something like Spellweaver, Mix-a-Wizzle, the blind mouse into an upgraded unit, and then potentially look at rolling for another blind mouse. And that is good. We could also sell 3 units to get an upgraded tier 4. What if we do this? We buy this, skip the treasure. What does that do for us? Skipping the treasure. Nothing, but let's just do this. Okay, so Medusa's a little bit awkward. It's not super strong, but where do we want it? I think we need Medusa attacking first. Very awkward, and the fact that we're playing up against a fallen angel means that their statue is still going to have some stats. They're going to slay with the Polywoggle, and we're going to take a ton of damage. It's also kind of a Nombo Gloves of Thieving plus Medusa, but maybe we can get some other fun things to happen. We're doing some weird stuff here. We need to get a first place finish. That is the only way that we get out of these ones alive. Maybe we try our hands at a Spellweaver again, but you know what? We should be picking up animals because we're Wonder Waddle. Let's go for Iluna's Grace on this. I think that's a good enough unit. Then we'll roll, and we'll pick up a Trojan Donkey. This is definitely a miss, the Medusa. That's for sure. But there are some scenarios where we can hit some powerful things off of it, so maybe not all is lost. I'm just trying to figure out what the best way to position our other units is, and I think it's something like this, but it's tough. Yeah, it's probably like this. Actually, I want this to potentially get hit by an earthquake. Maybe I don't want Wizard's Familiar to get hit by an earthquake, and I want something backing up the Medusa. You need something taking the shots while Medusa is delivering them, but this could still be good. It's a little bit silly. Of course it is. But maybe there is a way to turn this into something powerful. So that is what we're going to be looking for. It looks like we Beauty's Influence this kitty, but we did not. Somebody else did. We do lose a considerable amount of power on this fight, and all we pick up is a Cinderella. That is really unfortunate. We're going to take 5 down to 13. You know what? We tried some big things. We might not have succeeded on this game, but nobody can say that we didn't try. I don't hate Polywoggle. It's a potential chance to do more big things, but let's roll, try to find an upgrade for Donkey or more tier 3 animals while we are tier 3. And Merlin's hat, you've got to love that, right? Okay, Merlin's hat is now definitely the start of something. Very much considering locking Prized Pig and Spellweaver. Almost considering selling for them, though I don't think we can afford to do so. Do think we need to Mix-a-Wizzle and get a real unit. Oh man, these have been absolutely horrible transformations for us on these fights. I'm gonna move Kitty Cup Purse to right here. Gonna move this up, hopefully do some nice stuff with that. Trojan Donkey we definitely want in the front. Cinderella, not doing much with. And then, yeah, we have to lock, I think, for the Prized Pig. I think the only way that we get out of this one is by aggressively maging our opponents. We've got the opportunity to lose one more combat, and then we've got to be Hatball by that time. So yeah, definitely an awkward spot. The Baby Bear does become a 4-4 and then an 8-8, and so far all Medusa has done is be a 6-6, basically. So maybe the Baby Bear is better, but not by much. We'll need to find the Crystal Ball ASAP, My opponent is going to get a sleigh, but it does look like Wizard's Familiar is going to be decently big. It also looks like the donkey is going to be able to soak up some hits. And then we'll also have Mama Bear hopefully attacking on the cat. No, unfortunate. Okay, but we do get a hit here, and we get another summon there. So we have summoned some things, and the bear looks like we're going to be okay. Looks like we're going to be okay on this one. We hit our opponent for 6 down to 19. We're back in the game. We also get an almost active Brave Princess. Love to see that. We're going Medusa in the front line. Then this other stuff, taking the pig, taking the Spellweaver. What else can we do? We can roll. Probably just should have gingerbread partied, huh? Shoot. Well, it still pumps the Spellweaver. What else can we do? That was a mistake. Gingerbread party is as good as this is getting. Here's another gingerbread party. Don't think there's anything else for us in this one. That is unfortunate. All right, well, shake it off. I think we almost want to backline the donkey, but there really is not space for it. Luckily, we're playing up against Loki now, so there is some opportunity to play against some of the weaker players potentially in the lobby to get back in the game. And of course, I just mean that they are currently weak. I'm not speaking to anything about them, but we need the Brave Princess to slay now. That is priority numero uno. And then secondly is having the donkey deliver. I think this should be good enough. We're hoping to pick up the prized pig triple next turn and complete the Brave Princess to grab the hat, and then we'll grab the fork off of the little mice there and hopefully make some stuff happen this game. So we are going to be stealing a crafty. Will we be able to get through this doubly? That is a really good hit for us. We're going to get the sleigh, and we are probably going to get some spawns with the donkey as well. So this is really good. That is going to make it so that we do take out the doubly. We also get a Tweedledee, so that's almost enough to take out Loki here. 10 damage down to 4. Love to see it. Brave Princess triggers. We get Sark, Power Orb, or Dwarves. I think we're just going to go Power Orb here, give ourselves a little bit more stats for the current battle, and we'll see what else we can make happen. We have this, which we can get out of here. Kitty Cut Purse, what do you have for us? Probably nothing. Yeah, I think we just have to skip on almost all treasures. These crafties are large, though, especially if we can triple a crafty. I think that could just be a lot of stats. Let's roll. Let's roll again. Not purchasing the free roll. All right, great. We get the pig. So now we are looking for none of these things. Is Eye of Ares good? Is Slay characters getting a bonus good? Eye of Ares is interesting because it means we could tie some combats, but I don't think that that helps us enough. Let's roll and try to find some more animals and things. We're really low on time right now. Shoot. All right, that wasn't super impactful, but we got another ranged unit, which could mean something for us here. We're going to pick up some nice stuff with this donkey. Hopefully that is enough to carry us. I think we're going to lose this one, but hopefully we don't take too much damage. The pig is going to get in. Yeah, we're going to take 7 down to 6, but that's fine. Now we just can't lose again. We get something for free from our opponent. We get the sheep and wolf's clothing. All right, we really need to smarten up right now. I don't think I can make anything happen with the vulture. I'm looking for True Love's Kiss and animals. Like I said, I think we need the hat ball yesterday. Let's just try to find it. Maybe we can make it work. Yeah, we can pick this up. Okay, that could be good. So does this give us a fork? Moonsong Horn, so we can make all of our units really cheap. Or really, all of our spells really cheap, I mean. Let's grab it. It's just an upgrade over Power Orb. Can't really do anything with Wizard's Familiar. Gonna be playing this. I think I can do better than Burning Palm as well. Well, I don't see any way that we make it out of this one. But yeah, there's just no way. I think this is going to be the end of our tournament. I just couldn't make it happen. I tried to do some really big things and wound up floundering just a little bit too much. I mean, like, your back is kind of up against the wall there when you either when you need to win or you lose, and unfortunately that is going to be the case for us today. We are going to lose this tournament, but, well, I don't really have a but. Maybe let the pressure get to me a little bit. Maybe ran a little bit sour. It obviously sucks to end on an 8th. I guess I'm also just debating right now if I want to finish out the last 2 rounds of the tournament, and I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm just going to cut my losses here because we did not do so hot. And don't really have any uplifting words to end the video, but I will say that there will be more tournaments and there will be more opportunities, and this was really tough. Tried to do some splashy things. Basically, I was playing in this game for first or last, and started off looking really promising with the upgraded Wizard's Familiar with the 3 blind mice, but we just didn't get the optimal treasures. We really needed to get Forking Rod, but if we get Forking Rod there, like, we win. So it's a little bit tough. This isn't like a consistent strategy, but it meant that we had the opportunity to really high roll. And one of the things that I did mention in my patch notes that I put out at the end of last week is that I do think the tier 4 treasures are now certainly a little bit worse on average for just good stuff. Like Hidden Cash would have been great there. Hand of Vecna would have at least given us stats on the board, but we wound up having to go with these gloves and making some rather awkward plays. And then our Medusa was bad, our Baby Bear was bad, so none of our True Love's Kisses either lucked us into really good units, which is just unfortunate, but that's how the game goes sometimes. Also, the Shadow Assassin wasn't particularly impressive, but one thing that I do like to do with Wonder Waddle is, I guess, I think about it like rolling a bunch of dice. And if you roll a bunch of dice, maybe one of those is going to hit on a 20 or a 6, depending like on how lucky you actually need to get. But unfortunately, that wasn't the case for us this time. We rolled a bunch of snake eyes, a bunch of goose eggs, and it didn't work out. But I don't think, as an overall strategy for Wonder Waddle, it's the worst thing, especially in a situation like this where you need to get a first place to do anything. But that is sadly going to be the end of the tournament. Maybe I will play some more and not do some coverage on them, as my voice is getting a little bit sore and we know we cannot day 2 at this point. I think I probably will stay in it, actually, to be totally honest, just to see if we can style on them and end the video on a good note. Back at it again here with game 5 of 6 from day 1. Really just playing for fun now, but we are going to get to play Geppetto, and winning is fun too. So let's see what kind of madness we can get up to with Geppetto. My hair is absolutely crazy after doing some shoveling and stuff, and it just being a little bit too long right now, but maybe I'll put it down for this one. Just was trying to relax and trying to be as comfortable as possible for my games earlier, but did not quite matter. Don't get to cast a Shard of the Ice Queen here, which is a little bit unfortunate. Could go for the mice, as no one else looks to be picking up the mice, but you know what? Why not? We're here to have some fun. Let's go for some Polywoggle shenanigans and maybe we can make something silly happen with that. We do like to pick up Madman regardless on Geppetto, so that seems sweet to potentially get the Polywoggle in sooner rather than later. And hey, we get the sleigh, so what do you know? I do think that, yeah, maybe you win more by making some of these bolder choices some of the time. We're going to be on par with Peter Pants being able to play 2 minions as well. I think we take the baby root here. I think that's our best board. And the only question is, do we use our other gold to roll, or do we use our other gold to play the shrink spell? My gut said shrink spell at first. Let's go for it. Shrink spell, baby root, lock. And now we've got the ability to play 6 minions in the next turn. But a 5/6, pretty strong. That is, that's going to be able to beat anything Pan throws at us. We will eat their first unit most likely, and then, oh wow, they get a Sherwood Sure Shot. That is pretty nasty. That's actually going to be enough to allow them to win because their unit was ranged there. So they are going to hit us for 4 down to 33. Good to pick up a pair of baby roots now, though, and hopefully this is enough to make some fun things happen. I'll lead with the Kitty Cut Purse. Maybe we slay. Probably not against a Merlin, but a 5/9 is really what we are playing here, and I'm assuming we'll get rid of the Kitty Cut Purse at some point, but who knows. I was about to skip ahead, like I do sometimes on the videos when I'm done talking after the, like in some of these early shops, I'm like, okay, 30 seconds left, let's jump ahead when I'm recording videos, but actually I have to play this one too, so that is silly of me. Oh, this is the bot. This is the Merlin bot, and we actually did have a chance to slay, but this Merlin bot is actually killing it. We are going to kill them. This lobby has 1 bot because 1 player did not show up, but hopefully we can keep them down in some capacity. Slightly considering Good Witch, but I do think that the Mad Mim kind of looks good for us here. Could play the Good Witch right here. It's not the worst thing in the world. It's the most gold efficient. The thing is, you know what? I actually want to take Wicked Witch as well. So what if we do something instead like this? How does that look? And is that better? I think so, yeah. Making sure that Wicked Witch supports 2 things is going to be the most stats. So I think this is good. Main reason being, I know that we've got this Romeo pushing us into good, but now Romeo is just a unit. It's not really providing anything more. And I do think I want to still try to play Pumpkin strats, especially with Geppetto. They're really good. Knew I wanted to pick up some supports in some capacity, but now we've got a few too many supporting units. So looks like we will be trading this combat. It's only a matter of... yeah, I guess it isn't a matter of anything. If we had attacked their Madman, we could have won, right? That's what I was trying to think of there. Guess a True Love's Kiss is fine. It's not super exciting, but neither is anything else here. So let's do this. Grab a tier 4 unit. It's a Court Wizard. Pretty mediocre. Nothing really else to do, though. Yeah, these look good. Because we do want to find some other things to do with... the crafty. Sorry, by that I mean I want to find some more treasures to make the crafty work, but now I'm kind of just considering this black cat. Maybe I'll sell out of the baby root. That doesn't work that well with the Geppetto. Yeah, let's sell out of the baby root. This gives us options to go into dwarves or into animals still potentially. And then honestly, I do still like this. How do we play it though? Maybe we just play it straight up like this. Seems fine. Seems fine enough. Not going to lock on the Kitty Cut Purse. Don't care enough for that, but we'll just play this mediocre ranged unit. Opponent already with a Tweedledum. That is quite a big unit. And hopefully this Geppetto Black Cat can do some work for us. It's going to do a little, but not too much, as our opponent is going to be able to attack with a stag and win the combat pretty easily here. Hit us for 7 down to 26. We're just having fun with it. We're just here to grief some lobbies and maybe make some silly things happen. Let's see. Can we find any? Well, we go eggs. Is that fun? It's like decently strong. Pumps up the crafties. It's a lot for so little, though, because we really don't even want to make that much use of the treasure. Spinning gold. We're not going to win against Share Bear. Let's not even bother. Let's grab ourselves a tier 5 unit. Why not? Okay, we grab a Cupid. This could certainly lead to some cheese. Let's see what we can do here otherwise, too. This seems fine. I think we want to attack first with Cupid, so that way we can potentially just wreak more havoc. Or I guess we could do this, too, but I know I want it in either 1 or 4. This seems fine. Whatever. We're just having fun here. We just have a bunch of tier 2 units so far. Actually feeling quite tired too, but said I might not even record these ones with commentary or record them at all, but whatever. It's still Storybook Brawl, which I still think is quite a fun game, so don't take this as a defeatist attitude. Take this as somebody having fun playing a game they love, and let's see what we can make happen out of that. Black Cat's going to eat both of the donkeys, and then hopefully Cupid can take out some other things. Not quite, but Cupid isn't going to go down without a fight. Cupid's going to stick in this one for a little bit, and that's actually enough to win. So we win with Cupid against the Share Bear that is up 2 XP. Kind of crazy. What else can we do? Well, I think this shard is good. We've got 3 different things that we can pair up with it. Oh, or we can just flip the Cupid. Yeah, let's grab a pumpkin. Okay, not a pumpkin, but still quite good. Let's grab the golden chicken and roll. Nice. We got our first treasure of the game, and it is Hermes Boots. Hermes Boots seems pretty good here. Do have the option to pick up Darkwood Creeper alongside the Ring of Meteors, but definitely going to go for the Hermes Boots here. And then we can pick up Chupacabra as well. Might even want to just do something like this. I do not think this is crazy. So some quick boots math. We attack, then they attack, then we attack, then they attack, and then Siren will get first attack as well. So if everything just trades off, which it's reasonably likely to do, this is the correct amount of units to play. So this is looking sweet. This is looking good. And yeah, we've got the opportunity to potentially get back into it here. Choop can start to grow the Siren, which will start to help us. We'll want to replace this witch with a kind of a tongue twister. Replace this witch with a Sporko eventually. That's the plan. And if this can hit the crafty, no, it doesn't hit the crafty. Okay, so a little bit awkward. That's going to mean that our Siren gets attacked and actually dies from the mummy trigger. So a little bit awkward there. We can pick up another Choop, though. That just seems like a good unit, a good thing to do. So let's go ahead and do that. Could take a Cat's Call. That is obviously always awesome on Geppetto. Let's take a little roll, see what we can find, though. Don't love any of this. I think we're looking for, yeah, here's some pairs, and that could start to get us some good things. We do need to play this crafty for now, just because it's our best stat. So let's just sell, buy this Wicked Witch, and then that is going to potentially allow us to triple and get a Sark. But then we're looking for Choops, we're looking for Sporkos, and then eventually we'll be looking for pumpkins on the following turn, and pumpkins only. Maybe if we find a Siren quickly, we'll pick it up, but I don't even think we're going to go for Sea Terrors. So, that is the plan. Can't skip ahead, unfortunately. Troops are good. They're good at growing. The sirens don't feel like we're in the best spot here. We've also thrown off our boots math, but as we saw last combat, there's so many other factors that can go into that, including some of your units not dying. We're going to get attacks and slays on both of these troops, so that is pretty wonderful. And Black Cat is also going to be doing some work for us, big enough to trade with either that Black Cat or this Lucky. And then Choop still sticks around, which means Siren gets to attack. It isn't going to be able to slay, but our Princess, or our Good Witch rather, will be able to finish off our opponent. So could go for this. It lets us see 1-5, a bunch of 4s. I think that is good enough. That's basically like free XP. And we will continue rolling on this one after not finding anything great there. Don't love this. Could take the pair of wolf and sheeps. I think that is going to be good enough. It also would allow us to play this. So at this point, we cut the crafty, we grab another wolf and sheeps, and then I think we're phasing out the Black Cat, but that's tough. So the Black Cat is a 7-5. What's its printed stat? So it's a 7-5 that's going to summon a 10-8. An 11-9. It's probably good enough that I should just run it. Question is, what do we do? Like, do we put this here so that the Black Cat goes here? It's just a 1-1. 5-5. Yeah, no, we should just play the Chupacabra. But we are getting double the stats out of the Witch. Alright, let's do this. Let's do this. I think this is fine. We've got a bunch of pairs now that we could potentially pick up on. We are going to slay with the Chupacabra. That is a big slay as well, because that happened onto a stag. The Sark is potentially going to take out our witches in the back line at some point, which is going to be nice. Which witch is going to be nice here? We are going to take out that, and then the donkey will attack into our siren. We'll get to steal something. We don't get to steal their ranged unit, though. But I was going to say 50-50 to win. We were 1 in 25 or 1 in 4 to win there. If everything went exactly right, but missed out. We're going to be playing up against Merlin bot in this one, so don't need to stress out about it too much. Let's just find a pumpkin or find a triple for one of these units that we're already working with. All right, let's grab pumpkin. Then let's grab a triple for one of these units that we are already working with. Could also go for Mask Ball, sell 3 things for another pumpkin. Maybe we find a triple as well. We don't, but we find a Nyan Sea Terror. So the question is, do we sell 3 things for Nyan Sea Terror, which would be Black Cat, Mad Mim, and Crafty? Or just looking at my options right now, this might be better. Do we want to buy the Sea Terror? Let's roll. Okay. Didn't get there, but this is totally fine and still a pretty reasonable battlefield to be able to put out. So it shouldn't be too big of a problem to deal with this Merlin, but hopefully next turn we can pick up a Sark or a Summoning Portal or some more pumpkins. Our Witch is going to go down to the Merlin. The bots really love dragons nowadays, but luckily, we still have enough other stuff here that it's not going to matter. We only miss out on 2 attack from the Chupacabra on the pumpkin. The rest is not going to be a big deal, as we're definitely going to be able to beat a deceased Merlin bot. And gives you an idea of how powerful these lobbies are when you see just how quickly people kill the bots in these lobbies. And the whole lobby is down to 26 or less health. So yeah, these things go quickly. And speaking of going quickly, we just made our board so much more powerful so quickly. Let's sell Mad Mim plus Crafty, move this back here, move Choop back here, and then purchase a pumpkin. And we might even play the black cat now that we've got the Sark. Well, seems like we've got to play monkey's paw, eh? Let's put in the paw, and then we just cut this Choop. And we do even have to consider... Okay, so this is... Choop is a 2111. Black cat summons a 1212. Plus it's an additional Sark trigger. I think the black cat is just better, as crazy as that is. And this might even be a slightly better way to do things here. Could also go for supporting this just to make sure it steals something. I kind of like that, because if we're able to steal something with the Siren, we've got the boots. I mean, basically got perfect treasures now. The Siren can steal, and worst case scenario, if the Siren doesn't die, I mean, that's not worst case scenario. This could be a Dwarves player or something. Yeah, probably a Dwarves player, but we could summon something into our empty slot 6. So this is looking great. We actually steal a Siren. They've also got a pumpkin, but that means our Siren's going to attack again. That is absolutely wonderful. We steal a Siren again. Wow. Wow. So this is going to be a demolish, I have to imagine, for our opponent here. And we get to take out the Rotten Apple with a black cat, is that right? Well, maybe not, now that they've just filled their front line. Nope, still going to be the case. So we don't even lose many stats there. My opponent with a few monster books, but we still have a pumpkin left to go. Never mind. We no longer have a pumpkin. That could be enough to sway the tides of battle. It's going to be a matter of if our Siren can steal and what. We lose a unit to Lightning Bolt. My opponent's Loki, I'm just now realizing, is huge. They had they're level 6. So I guess they were just 2 XP up on us, but kind of crazy. Do want to consider the Cat's Call to be able to win the combat. Let's go for it. Let's not die. Let's go for a Cat's Call here. All right, Choop on Summoning Portal could be insane. Is that worth tossing the boots? Probably. Let's go for it here. Chupacabra, what do we get? We get a whole load of nothing. So let's skip out on that. Don't need to fork a Cat's Call. No interest. Yeah, let's just find some more tier 5s, like pumpkins. Those are pretty good, right? We can backline this. We can now do something interesting like this, which is weird because this Choop is in the back. Maybe we just play this rather than playing this upgraded kind of awkward Choop here. This looks good to me. This will definitely be enough to win this combat, especially with the Cat's Call. Don't even think that we really needed it. But next turn we're level 6. That's when we'll want to start picking up some dragons. We do get Pigomorphed, so things could get scary, but we are going to be able to steal a big Nyan Sea Terror. Is this the guy that we're playing against right now? No. Oh, Loki. Loki was saved by a pig, they just said in the chat. And we're going to deal a considerable amount of damage to the player right there without the Cat's Call. Didn't think we were going to need it, but Geppetto obviously really quite strong now at this stage of the game. I think I am looking for Dragon, especially with these boots, but playing up against Merlin, let's Cat's Call it up. Let's not take any chances. That is just going to mean that we have some really good stuff here. Fortunately, I'd love to crock the pumpkin, but we just cannot because I don't want to just buy some stuff and do nothing on the turn. I think I want to roll for Dragon. I think that gives me the highest odds here. We've got one more roll to hit it, and we do not. We could sell 2 things, pick up 9 Sea Terror. The only thing that we'd want from that is the Mimic chest. Obviously, Mimic plus Sark Paw is really, really strong. It's worth probably throwing away the boots for, though it's arguable. Could be wrong to do so. Let's continue to roll, I believe, because Dragon is so good while we do have these boots. All right, we didn't get there. You're really just looking for Dragon. I do think that we want to play our Golden Pumpkin in 7 as opposed to in 5, because we do also have a support unit that we can play in the middle of those two. So that should be good enough for us. But Like I said, I think the Black Cat is enough that we should be okay, but Doom Breath could spell disaster. Maybe we can just steal it. Sweet. Seems good enough. We'll steal their Doom Breath, and now we are going to lose the Doom Breath, so that is a little bit unfortunate, but that could have been absolutely epic. Sark will take care of this Echo Wood, no problem. Not really super concerned with that. And now we get a bunch of cats. I was going to say pigs, but these are cats. And that is going to deal a bunch more damage with the Sarks. It is going to block our pumpkin in the tiniest little bit here, but it's also going to just ensure that we take this Merlin down. And there we go, 16 down to 1 for Merlin. All we were was 1 damage short. So that is unfortunate that we don't get to take those out, because every player that we take out brings us 1 step closer to God. Let's go for Piggo. We're in the end game now. This is the new meta. This is end game 6.1. Game's almost over. I could sell for pigs. Sure. Let's just sell these 2 things. And then I think we're going to go pigs like this. I think it's still worth running the Siren, especially with these boots. I think it's big enough. You do run into potentially some awkward cases against the Fates, but I think that this is ultimately going to be a-okay. And we want the pigs to be a little bit more front-loaded, so that way they can hopefully die out before the Pumpkin King comes. I'm just trying to think. Yeah, let's do this. Okay, this gives us just a higher chance to make use of Witch of the West. And also gives us a higher odds that more things will die and more space will open up for the pumpkin. So I do think it's good. We hit something in the back, not sure what that was. We're not going to be able to steal the hippocampus, but we are going to be able to kill a bunch of things here. So yeah, the idea is kind of that, like, now the pigs can go into the witch slot after the evil sheep gets to make double use of it. My opponent's pumpkin, what is that going to be? Fates is really good right now with the pumpkins because all of the pumpkin spawns get a +5/+5. It's like a free monkey's paw light. And here come our pumpkin spawns. Let's see what we got. We got 1 tree. We got a vulture. This is going to be a kill onto the Fates and going to propel us into the top 4, potentially even the top 1. Geppetto is really busted right now. Time to find a Doom Breath. Pigs? Are pigs the play? Sure. Just because of that tier 6 treasure, I think I'm going to take the pigs here. Medusa also not bad. We want to consider that we're going to be stealing scam units from them, and for that purpose, we are totally okay with running the Siren, I believe. I think that's going to be better than the Medusa. Let's not free roll, because I think I would like to cast a spell against my opponent, given the opportunity. Oops. And by free roll, I mean I think that was a Masquerade Ball. But we're not going to be casting any free rolls either. Shrivel seems fine. I don't think that it's super likely that my opponent is still running many of these same units, but we're in the end game now. This game is almost over. We don't really need to change our treasures. I would have liked to potentially swap out the boots for a summoning portal, but at this point, these are the treasures that we are going to roll with till the end of the game. I can't imagine even swapping out the boots for a better treasure on this pig, because yeah, really all that we would want would be the summoning portal or a mimic chest. I don't think that there's any 6s that are super great for evil comps, but maybe I could be wrong. Can we steal the dragon? No, we steal a rotten applewood though, and that is kind of okay. Pumpkin is going to summon, and Pumpkin does summon first before the pigs. We just have to hope that our Sark is able to kill their pumpkin quickly here. Like, we want their pumpkin to die right now. Their first unit is still attacking, though. That is pretty incredible. Nice. We get the Sark on their pumpkin, so that is a wonderful scam. Now we just have to get through their Medusas. We get through the first one. Their other Medusa is open to a Sark trigger. So that could be great. But our pumpkin is now dead to a Sark trigger. So this is getting to be a close game. And let's see. We're almost able to take out their Gumblegore. We do. And no, don't tell me. Oh, thank goodness. Wow. That was almost a loss. These are some crazy epic battles, but we are going to win, and we are going to take out Loki. We'll take a look at the tracker after this one to see just how close that was. Hitting them for 24 doesn't seem like it would be close, but man, oh man, was that a close one. We were 71% to win, though. Up against the ghost, let's give her a roll. Could also decide to just lock a spell in the shop, but this Zelhua and this Merlin were pretty good. Well, now we've got the option to pick up a Pandora's box because we have it here. Okay, no, it's going to be Wand of Weirding, and then it is going to be, I believe, lock for Pigomorph after that. Is that better than Boots? We've got one player here that I don't know what they're playing and another player with a dragon. We're going to need to split up our pumpkins regardless. Yeah, let's go Wand of Weirding. Let's take out the Boots. We're going to split our pumpkins. We're going to play something like this probably, or maybe something like this is still fine. And the question is, do we Medusa? How big is their dragon? 34. No. Let's roll for Pigo. Okay, that's good. That's good. We can get a bunch of extra gold going into the next combat against the ghost. That's going to allow us to find and double cast a Pigomorph. Oof. Okay, this battle could be a little bit rough against dwarves, but we take out the Angry, so that is really good. We just now have to take out this Echo Wood and find a way to scam this, because this Echo Wood is going to be large. We'll get to see in the chat if one of our opponents is disposed of, and then we just have to look for some scams here with the pumpkin. We have the backline Medusa frontline tree. That is absolutely wonderful. That is going to allow us to kill at least 2 of our opponent's units, and it doesn't look like the... yeah, that is perfect. So now the Echo Wood has to attack. Oh no, we crack another pumpkin. Okay, so we are not quite going to be able to get the Echo Wood, but we still get the scam, so we get to save all of our life. So the important part about this is the extra gold. So now we have extra gold for the next turn. I can confirm in the chat this is a little bit of a weird part about tournaments, but we made top 2. So we're second place. We also have cheap spells this turn because we needed that, and we get the win. So I don't know who we're playing up against here. Probably the Merlin. Yeah, we are going to play up against the Merlin. We get a double cast on any spells that we find. Let's just play a whole back line of pumpkins. That doesn't seem like it can really go wrong. We can Knighthood something, but I don't think that's better than double Pigoing. Shoot. Okay, well, Mimic Chest could still be insane. Let's grab it. We get to upgrade the pumpkin here. That's still good. Let's just skip this. Put this back in, and now we're looking for a spell that we can double cast. That is not bad. That is pretty reasonable scam. Could land on the donkey, could land on the fairy, but I think we can do better. Like I said, all of our spells are so cheap right now. One more roll. Drat. Okay, we're not going to find a spell, but basically the dragon is going to take out one of our units. I can honestly, I mean, this seems silly, but I think I just do this. Because basically the dragon is going to blow up one side of our board here regardless. So I think I just play this. That way we divide everything up, and then we'll roll with the siren on the next one. Could lock this. I mean, the wand isn't doing that much for us. I probably should have, but I'm hoping that there are just not too many more combats after this. All right, they take out our first pumpkin, and we don't get anything super great. And honestly, fairies are a little bit scaries from our opponent here now. So we really are just relying on these Sark triggers. Maybe we could tie it. I think this is actually tieable as silly as that sounds. We've got a lot of opportunity now. They take out another unit, so Pumpkin gets to do basically a full summon, looking for backline Medusas. That is absolutely perfect. So this Medusa is going to get a scam, not onto the fairy, but still onto a pretty reasonable unit. Book. What does the book give us? A smite for a finish off there on their weakest unit, and a fireball. So we have to deal with this Gumblegore, and then we have to deal with my opponent's other stuff. Well, wait. We actually get to play another game. We get to play another combat here. So that is really exciting. We still have double cast on our spells. Let's just find this Piggo. That would be absolutely insane. Do I want to settle for Shrivel? Well, now we look at their board and Shrivel basically does jack all. So we're not going to go for that. We could sell 3 things, 1, 2, 3 for a tier 5 treasure. That seems absolutely horrible. Let's roll, find the Piggo. You know what? This is good. This is good. This ensures that we don't potentially lose this one pumpkin to a Doom Breath. So I think that that is going to be the play here. There's no way... I'm just trying to think if one or the other is better. Don't think it matters. We've just got to rely on the scam. You can see we were at pretty low odds to win that game. And this doesn't really make things that much better for us because this Siren is still not going to slay. It's actually going to get turned into a Piggo, which I think we've got to be fine with at this point. And maybe I should have just put that, well, if I put that here, then it couldn't have gotten attacked into. So actually, never mind. Main thing here is we want triggers to hit the Gumblegore. My opponent also with a huge Storm King. Their Hatball Fork, didn't even realize. Does seem like this is going to be a toughie, but if we can get a backline Medusa frontline tree, okay, not quite, but we do have some ranged units. Those can be decent. We also have a Mad Mim just attacking in for the fun of it, and we're going to get rid of our frontline right before the dragon gets in again. This is a tough one, for sure. Don't really imagine that we make it out of this one, but let's see. We get a board full of summons. We have 1 Medusa and 2 monster books, so that is 6 potential scams. We're going to see a 4 Glory and a Lightning Bolt. That's not enough, but we're getting close. Medusa gets attacked. That is really terrible for us. Here's the book. 2 more spells. Rotten Apple, that's a spell. Rotten Apple, that's a spell. We just need to find a way to deal with my opponent's Storm King, which is looking not likely. So we are going to lose this one, but a 2nd place finish, cannot feel too bad about that. That is going to mean we've got 1 more game before this tournament is over and done with, and we'll see what we can do with that. But still staying in it, keeping my head up and seeing what we can turn out. All right, we are back for round 6, the final round of day 1 of the January qualifier, and I think we can probably have some fun with the Sphinx. I want to show y'all that the Sphinx still has some stuff cooking and can still be a good hero. And I don't mind picking up some Wizard's Familiars. I don't love it, but it can still work out. At the same time, there's also a Fanny, and one way to win tournament lobbies is also just by going Fanny. So definitely a choice to be made here. Let's just grab a Fanny. Let's just try to not take damage in the early game. I think that's going to be better than picking up some Wizard's Familiars. If this was a ladder, maybe I'd go for the Wizard's Familiars, especially if there wasn't like a Wonder Waddle in the lobby potentially too. But with that, yeah, we are still going to lose. That's what I was like thinking about. Maybe we'll just lose to Geppetto anyways. If it was like Pied Piper, then maybe I'd say, well, we're just going to lose anyways, so it doesn't matter. But nonetheless, let's pick up Cindy. Oh, and that allows us to pick up Frog Prince too. Okay, well, goodbye Fanny. Hello Frog Prince seems good enough. I was gonna say we can roll, try to hit a free roll or a Forbidden Fruit or something, but let's just play a 5/5. That seems as good as anything else. And I suppose I'll go like this. Maybe we can trade with our 5/5 on some silliness that Wonder Waddle's doing. Who knows? Who knows here? But yeah, I think that the Sphinx can still be good. Yeah, we are going to trade with the Black Cat, and then we'll have the opportunity for the Cinderella to win it. So, yeah, basically just thinking if we can get some free spells cast, that can help to turn on the Cinderella. What else are we looking for? I think I'm just going to go for the most stats out of this one and just take a Crafty and a Sherwood Sure Shot. Don't hate the Crafty if we can get the Cinderella online. Basically, I think now on 3.0 you just take whatever you can get off of the Sphinx and don't go too crazy with it. And it's really that 4.0 that you are setting up for the Sphinx play. You're potentially doing some rolling on 3.2 to set up for a good 4.0 spellcast, which could potentially allow you to do some nice things as soon as you hit level, or let you hit level 5 a little bit sooner. So that's kind of the idea. My opponent with a bunch of Wizards Familiars there, that is going to be pretty gnarly. Think we're going to be picking up Lonely Prince and Ogre Princess. So is there anything else we want to do with this one? I don't think so. Think let's just go ahead and cast a Mix-a-Wizzle and then do what I just said we were going to do. So yeah, this seems good enough as anything. My only question now here becomes, do we want to slay with this Ogre Princess? How important is that? And I think it's reasonably important, but nothing that we want to go crazy over. This is slightly better positioning. It does open us up to Earthquake more, but it means that we've got a higher chance of the Ogre Princess getting an attack in. So we'll go for this, and this also just leaves Sherwood Sure Shot by itself in the back line, which could potentially do some scammy stuff. Let's see. All right, the Stag's going to get in there and going to attack the Ogre Princess. So really unfortunate start of the combat there. The Polywoggle is also going to slay, so my opponent is just going to win this one. There's nothing we can do, and we are going to wind up taking 6 damage here. Unfortunate. Just taking a look at the names of the players real quick. Could go for a Sugar and Spice. Potentially the Ogre Princess with the Shadow Assassin could be a decent amount of stats. Sugar and Spice isn't anything too crazy, but we do need to start casting some spells for Cindy. So let's do that. Do we want to pick up Shadow Assassin? I think we will, and then we'll roll. Potentially picking up, I was going to say, a Frog Prince would be quite good. This kind of consolidates all of our units pretty top heavy, but I think it is still worth it to go for this here. And we want to take the treasure because we want the Crafty to work. And I think Monster Manual is pretty good. We'll do a little something like... that's tough. Basically, it's going to be hard for the Shadow Assassin to make use of the Monster Manual, but I think this is fine. Just getting Monster Manual on the Ogre Princess, I think, is good enough. Decent odds to slay there, but not quite going to be enough. And we shall see. Basically, like, we want to tie it now, as awkward as that is. And I think we're actually just going to lose. So now I'll say that I would rather win. But we are going to lose, and we'll take another 6 damage. But we grow our Shadow Assassin just a little bit more. And now I think we want to start growing the Wretched Mummy. The question is, like, we could go Gingerbread Party, then Wretched Mummy, and then roll to lock a good spell. I think that is going to be the play. Hopefully we can lock XP. No. Not only do we not lock XP, but we also see a Shadow Assassin here, which would honestly be a pretty large pickup, but I do think that we have to make use of the Sphinx to get back in the game, as we are already a little bit behind. And it starts to make me wonder, like, what am I doing that is making me get so far behind in these early games. I'm not going to stress out about it too much. And honestly, I had some really, really good games on the practice realm that I have been playing with some of the best players in the game. A lot of what you are going to see as far as my games that get uploaded to the channel this week, as this video is probably going to go out on like Monday or Tuesday, and then everything that follows this week is going to be a lot of high-level tournament practice lobby stuff, which is against some really, really tough lobbies, but apparently these tournament battlers are just even tougher, as we see a Geppetto with a Wish Upon a Star really doing some insanely big things here. And looks like we're going to lose to them. I mean, Geppetto with Princess Peep, it's kind of just a winner. So they're going to win, deal 7 damage to us, and move on from the lobby. Now we've got a free spell, and we've got to figure out how to make this work right now. We got to make this work yesterday. Let's see. Roll. We could go for this. This isn't the worst free spell in the world. It gives us 2 tier 5 units, which could potentially be pumpkins. Feels like it is not the worst thing in the world to go for. The thing is, if these aren't pumpkins, though, they are still tier 3s. It does still complete Cindy. Let's look for one more roll. No, that's not going to get us there. One more. Nope, one more. And at this point, I think we're basically full rolling down. I think I will take a Wretched Mummy. I'm also slightly tempted to go for these Lady of the Lakes, but have to go for the Wretched Mummy pair. Could also put Beauty's Influence on a mummy so that we can support it with Good Witch, but we're just going to wind up ending on a Masquerade Ball anyways here. So Masquerade Ball now into Runestones is probably the play, or maybe Ring of Regen. Let me see. Yeah, this could buy us some crucial time. I didn't lock the shop. I just didn't have enough time, speaking of crucial time, to lock this shop. I think we're going to be okay here against Barnabas. We're looking pretty solid, and they took the time to buy some XP against us because we're not doing so hot. So we are going to get a win against them, and we'll start to get a little bit more HP, but we basically completely threw away our Sphinx on that one. So that is a little bit awkward. Maybe Ogre Princess is fine by itself. We do have all of these monsters that are scaling too. I'm really thinking about the Sporco. I really need Shadow Assassins and Ogre Princesses, though. That is obviously really terrible that I missed out on those. All right, well, here's a monster. There's also a Romeo plus Juliet. That could buy us something, but let's just go Monster Book, and then let's go Blessing of Athena to try to get some stats back on this board. Picked up a Soul Tack Ancient. That's not really going to be doing too much of anything for us, but hopefully we can just scale with this Monster Book, gain a little bit of health that will give us the cushion to lose 1 or 2 fights potentially, and make something good happen. But a Hoard Dragon on top of the lobby is always a scary sight, so no clue what is going to be in it for us here. I don't think I'm like playing too greedy at this point. I mean, Ogre Princess is growing, so it is fine, and the mummies are growing. Those are just going to give us more and more stats as well. So hopefully we can make something nice out of this one and start getting some wins. I could see this being, yeah, it's really a shame because I would have loved to pick up the just additional Ogre Princesses and really make this into an Ogre Princess game as well. I think there was a Chupacabra on that Masquerade Ball that we let get away from us. But dwarves, well, dwarves are one way you can certainly win a lobby. So let's see, are we going to have enough mummy triggers to do enough here? We're not. So we are going to be taking, well, this is lethal right now. Okay, this means we survive, right? We go down to 1. So that Ring of Regen was super clutch. We need to find a way to turn this game around. So one of the ways that this can turn around is with Sarcophagus, potentially. We will have free spells next turn. So that is something to consider as well. The Ogre Princess isn't a huge pickup, but I think we should be looking to complete some Tier 3 treasures right now. I think that is one of the ways out of this, potentially. Might also consider, yeah, I mean, that's tricky, because then we lose our Sphinx. Oh, geesh. Okay, what a disastrous end. I don't think I can run it. Let's roll. And we do find the Ogre Princess. Let's hang on to Crafty for a Mo, just in case. We'll go Ogre Princess. That is going to allow us to potentially grab a Sting. I think that's what I'll go for. One of the other reasons I'm grabbing that Sting is I think we will discard the Good Witch. Just go something like this. I also don't hate doing something like this. Maybe additional attack on this is better at this point. 18, kind of split the difference here. Let's move up Monster Book. Let's backline the Frog Prince as well. So now everything in this front line is a monster that we want to die. And we'll just hope to pick up some type of somewhat reasonable spell on the Sphinx. Maybe some life gain or something like that. Okay, attacking into the Stag is great. We get a 1.5 for 1. Mummies are going to do their work. Ogre Princess is going to slay. Is the book going to be good? It's going to trade with a Black Cat. That's not great. But it is going to give us a Blessing of Athena. And it is going to allow us to win the combat. So there we go. Sorry, Caleb. Going for the For Glory against us. I don't think so. So, Monster Book is good. Probably enough to take out Crafty. Up against the Ghost here with Unbound Familiar. Don't hate that. Don't hate taking a Monster Book as well, just because it is a monster. Let's grab it, and then let's roll, see if we can find a really nice spell. Shoulder Fairies isn't really cutting it. I think I want to roll for a good spell here. The Grim Souls are interesting. It does kind of like a, okay, reminder, this is the Jormungand patch, despite not really seeming so. We're just rolling for spells. All right, we find XP. Going to be taking that XP. And then I guess we can still roll and hit Mummy. We can still roll and hit Mummy. Oh, look at this. This is a monster. That's good there. Sure. I'm going to put the books in the back because the mummies are just more consistent. Could also put Ogre Princess in the back. Maybe that is slightly better. Try to give the Ogre Princess an opportunity to slay. And I think this makes the most sense in that spot right there. So we're doing the monster mash. We're doing something here. And I guess we're leveling up and hoping to hit Oni King. Something that starts to look pretty good right now is a Copycat. But hopefully we can make some nice stuff happen on this board. Get through it. That is a nice mummy trigger for us, and that is going to allow us to take out a decent portion of my opponent's board. Looks like we're going to win this one, and we're going to end with a slay, which is good because we're up against the ghost, so it would be embarrassing a little bit to lose it. We do get a Rotten Apple Tree, and we also have the opportunity to switch into evils with a Great Pumpkin. Do think I'm going to have to take them up on that offer, probably cutting the Ogre Princess and the Friendly Spirit here, just so that I can play as many evil units as possible. Would really love to find a triple on anything. Don't think we're going to go for the tree. I think we really want to spend our gold, on the triple for the monster book, and I think I also like spending it on the end just to gain that HP. Let's see what we get here first of all. Do we get anything good off of a 4? Ring of Rage seems fine with the pumpkin strat. So let's go Ring of Rage. And I think I might just be eschewing XP, because what is really awkward here is Is 4 health? Yeah, 4 health is probably worth our Sphinx turn. It means that if we die, we're probably okay. So we're totally abandoning the Sphinx, finding the XP right now. But now we're level 6, and hopefully this can do something. Might have even been greedy to play the Ogre Princess. Might have just needed to go for full stats. But we take out their Lancelot. Speaking of stats, that's going to take out a lot of what my opponent was doing. They will probably get to attack with a mummy here, though, which is going to give them 2 mummy triggers. One lands on the pumpkin, which means that we are good for this combat. And we are going to actually kill them. Hit them for 15 off a cracked pumpkin. We don't get the Ogre Princess Slay, but it did contribute to some additional damage. And we're top 4 in the lobby. So I guess we cannot complain here, really. This is the same either way. Doesn't really matter. Whatever we put in here is going to get the same as the Gumblegore bonus is all that I'm saying. I do think that I want Gumblegore and that is a reasonable unit for us. We are getting +3 right there. Do we want... Well, Geppetto is 6 and we're up against them. 1 life point could really matter. Let's gain life. We've been gaining life. That's been the plan. Okay. Now we can sell 3 things and play a huge dragon in the front. I think the Shadow Assassin is going. I think we're losing a mummy. And then I think I'm selling... I just have to decide if I want to sell the Ogre Princess or not. Upgraded Ogre Princess while we're level 6 is so good. I'm definitely picking up this Doom Breath, though. We're selling this. We're selling this. I mean, Shadow Assassin doesn't really do anything for us. But does it do more than the Rotten Apple Tree? Don't think so. Rotten Apple Tree a little bit tough against animals, but so is Shadow Assassin. And, okay, let's just do this. This is totally fine. Okay. And we are back in it. And things are looking pretty good. If this dragon can hit something nice, my opponent with 2 pumpkins, let's see. The dragon is going to get scammed. That's super unfortunate. And my opponent has a sarcophagus mimicked as well. So we need to really, really have some insane luck. Basically, we need to have cracked these pumpkins yesterday. The fact that these pumpkins are not already cracked means we're just going to take a huge amount of damage here. This is going to fill my opponent's board with upgraded minions, and now we're going to take 30 damage. So there you go. There is the end of it. 25 damage. That's going to get us a 4th place finish. Get used to seeing a lot of that on this patch, but really excellent treasures there from the Geppetto. Going to end us in 4th place and not really close overall towards a good tournament finish, but we had a handful of pretty reasonable spots there, and yeah, we'll be in it for the next one. But that's going to be it for me today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I'm NoLucksGiven. Peace.